Hello people, I am back, and right now I'm going to be ranking the Fortnite chapters from worst to best. And wait, hold up. Before you act like a irrational monkey minion and dislike this because I didn't agree with your opinion and I put your favorite chapter at the worst, don't dislike it just because of that reason. I'm trying to be reasonable, not factual. My statements are all an opinion on what I had the most fun with. Try to be understanding, and let's get on with it. Coming at the number 5 spot for the worst, in my opinion, is none other than Chapter 2. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of obligated to put this chapter here at the very bottom because this is the chapter that honestly made me quit the game. It's kind of what ruined everything for me. I hated the AI, just the game, the loophole was terrible. You know, I could go on why it was terrible and all, but I mean, it had a couple good things and all. Like, I mean, swimming. Now, I said the loophole sucks, and the only reason I think it sucks is that it's kind of lazy, as most of it just seemed to be Chapter 1, which also the POIs also seemed to be, which made the map, which also the structure of the map wasn't good either. Most of the chapter was just a little bit stale and bad. I'm actually surprised with how, like, popular it is. I mean, I didn't play much, so I can't really say much, but out of all the times I've played it, which was like Chapter 2, Season 2, and Season 1, I did not enjoy it in one bit. It made me delete the game for like 2 years until I came back. If I'm being legitimately serious, my biggest problem with it was that every problem I have with the game now, it was basically just that, except amplified times 10. Chapter 2 was kind of the start of all the shenanigans that new Fortnite suffers with. And mythics and AI, it was just way too much. Life events were really good during Chapter 2, and as I said, swimming. It was a good mechanic to add to the game. But other than that, I'm gonna have to put it at the lowest. It made me quit the game for 2 years, so I didn't play it much, so I have to kind of just put it there anyways. And if you enjoyed it, good for you, but don't expect me to agree on this. Next up, taking the number 4 spot is none other than Chapter 5. Okay, hold up. Right now you might be thinking, you just put Chapter 5 above Chapter 2, and yet Season 1's not even over of Chapter 5 yet. Well, you're right. You're absolutely right. I should have been obligated to put Chapter 5 lower. It should have been the worst one, considering we haven't even had enough to play it. But I'm putting it this low because I absolutely despise every single bit of it, and I've been taking a break from this game just because of this chapter. Yes, the attachments, the movement, the map. Honestly, this chapter is basically all my problems from Chapter 2 brought back. Let's go. I hate this chapter, but that doesn't mean there's not good things though. Because I can name a couple good things, and this is the only reason I put it above Chapter 2. Now I'm going to try and keep this short, but bullet drop off and no hit scan. It should have been in this game 6 years ago, but they never did it for some reason. And the search. That's literally it. Now in the number 3 spot goes none other than Chapter 4. Oh my gosh, I loved this chapter. It was so good. Season 1, just such a good start off to a chapter. Had all those cool kinetic movement items. The weapons were fun to use. I like the weapons. They're cool. Like, the map was great too. And then Season 2 came around. Probably one of my favorite seasons in this game overall. Man, what a good chapter. But it was also the most mid chapter. I never thought a chapter could go from being so phenomenal to being so hot garbage in like one go. With a singular update, this whole chapter just fell apart all in one. First 2 seasons were probably some of my favorite ever in this game. And then the last 2 seasons proceeded to be some of my least favorite seasons ever in this game. The meta for those 2 seasons, Season 3 and Season 4, were just horrendous. The map proceeded to get ruined with a huge jungle. I actually don't think anyone really liked that. Season 4 had like hardly any map changes, and it just brought a bunch of AI into the map. Whoopee. And the meta just somehow got worse and worse with both seasons. Like, it just kept getting worse with each update. I didn't even know it was possible. Even like, actually, never mind. The battle passes were actually pretty good. Mid chapter. I don't throw that word around too much, but this chapter is deserving of it. Now for the number 2 spot is none other than Chapter 3. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think there's much to be said about Chapter 3. I think it was actually probably the most underappreciated chapter in this game. Like, I probably actually had one of my favorite gun loopholes ever. I love the Ranger AR. Prime Shotgun was great. Actually, all the shotguns were great. I don't think any of them were like super broken or anything. There was no like terrible meta. I guess you could say the spray meta was pretty bad, but it wasn't the worst. It wasn't. I wouldn't say it was broken. To be fair, this game has always had a spray meta, so that doesn't mean anything. It introduced crowns. It had mantling, tack sprinting, and sliding, all added into one, along with the physics from the trees and the boulders. It was awesome. It was a pretty good chapter overall. The only problem I would have with it is the battle passes, but other than that, I mean, they're okay. I wouldn't say they were like a detriment. But overall, the best part of this entire chapter was the introduction of Zero Build. The Zero Build thing, just the mode in general, just completely brought me back. Honestly, if this mode didn't exist, I wouldn't be playing anymore. This whole mode was just perfect. It was the greatest way to bring this game back, and it did. So, number 2 spot is deserving of Chapter 3. Actually, a really good chapter. And the number 1 spot, the crown goes to Chapter 1. Now, before anyone, the little children say, "Oh my gosh, nostalgia, oh my god." No. Honestly, Chapter 3 would have been the one that would have brought... I probably would put Chapter 3 number 1, but they brought back Chapter 1, and I changed my mind completely because it just reminded me how great it was. Honestly, the balancing was just better creativity. The map was just god tier. Actually, probably the best map in the Battle Royale in general. Better battle passes, and just overall. It's kind of cliche to just say this, but yeah. Chapter 1 wins. It usually does. And it deserves it. You might be thinking, wow, he must really hate this game. Don't quote me on it.